100% sure that you are committed?
I don't think we're sure. I glanced back towards the mansion, knowing what I had seen there, or rather, what I thought I saw there, because there is just no way. Not to mention how I acted towards Miss Wright, for goodness sake. I should feel the slightest bit hesitant. I was lucky. I've seen enough films to know what happens when a promiscuous woman enters a haunted house. This is my chance to turn it down, make excuses, say that I'm not up to the task, that I need to take care of my old sick father. Just pay the fine, which is probably outrageous for a contract like this, and let it go. I should turn it down, but for some obstinate reason I can't. In the same manner, I have not let go of her, of the regret that has shadowed me since that day. Much as I hate to admit it, even to myself, seeing her again, the mischievous glint in her eyes, the loose tendrils of her hair curled around her forehead, it's something I've terribly missed. And now that it's here, almost within arm's reach, my father would tell me, sometimes you just simply have to go through with it. Consequences be damned. And well, I really don't have any logical reason to say no. At least, not something a client like the Wrights would want to hear from a professional designer.
It's certainly an interesting project. You can be sure I'm seeing it through the end.
Such dedication! Oh, I do love the determination.
You were always determined like that, weren't you?
Hearing a voice once again sends a chill running down my back. I can't wait for this day to be over. From the mansion and through Amsterdam, I rode with them in silence. But as soon as we hit city proper, I asked to be dropped off and bid them good night. I thought I'd best if I did not stay too long in confined spaces with either Miss or Mr. Wright. Both seems to cause me serious trouble, and if the project had been any less interesting and grand, I would have dropped it without a second thought. Would have, should not have, won't. I assure them that my place is not that far off, and I have to fight off the urge to roll my eyes and groan when whiskey throws me a little smirk. But even in my own peace is elusive, as is sleep. I lie awake thinking of what I saw in that mansion, of who I saw. If I so much as hear a single whisper from her, if I so much as see a wisp of her hair, I'm afraid I'd go mad. But none of that happens, and it makes me feel hollow. For 2 nights, I've had trouble sleeping. But it's only one morning when fatigue has already let me rest that I'm reminded of what terrifies me so. In my restless dreams, I see that mirror, the one in the study, and in it I see her, I see them. Lorraine and Anna? What? Anna and Lorraine.
Poor pathetic Marianne. Work, work, work.
Don't scare me like that.
She'll work herself to death.
See, she doesn't listen. That's all she did. Look at what happened to me.
They talk among themselves with cruel smiles and venomous tongues, or rather to themselves, who as one body. A horrible mockery of these women, as if they were the one and the same.
More's the pity. Life goes on and goes out, and she doesn't even see it.
Do you think she'll even realize when she's kicked the bucket herself?
When they say a person has a hard time telling when they're in a dream, it was true often enough. Even with this bizarre side, even with the obvious implication that this is not real, I can't help but feel distress.
Likely. Is that any way to live at all? She might as well be dead.
Cruel fate that she's alive and I'm... well...
Though they speak into each other's ears, tones low and hushed, I can still hear them as clear as day. Their whispers pervade the air, heavy and oppressive. They bury and dig into my head like tiny maggots, worming their way into my skull. It is only then that they take notice of my presence. Oh crap. Their eyes turn towards me and I can only feel small under the scrutiny. Caricature smiles etched on their faces, mimicking each other grotesquely.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie?
Crap.
Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
No.
Have you been looking at us? Spying? How scandalous. Such a naughty girl.
I'm sure you were just waiting for something lewd to happen, weren't you?
Lewd?
You know she will not admit it. She thinks it wrong. You've said it so yourself.
Yes. She thought me wrong, impure, abnormal, because I loved her.
This is boring by. Well, I'm sorry, Shadowburn, okay? You are indeed not obligated to stay here. My breath itches and I open my mouth to protest, but they stop me, screeching. The mirror that holds them cracks, lines spidering across its surface.
Do not lie! We know the gluttonous thoughts you try to deny, girl. All those desires you bury beneath that sickening guilt. You act the martyr when you turn the bed you lie in into your own hedonistic hell. You are nothing but a tainted soul with filth-stained flesh held together by falsehood and pride.
They look livid, and when it looks like they would lunge, awake, feeling like the wind had been knocked out of me. With a groan, I squint and find a certain fluff ball sitting on my chest looking as pleased as punch. Whoa, she is the overlady of the cats, queen of despair and destruction on nice furniture. Though I can't stay mad at her majesty because it feels like she did something good this time. Was having a nightmare, but I can't even remember what it was about. Trying to recall leaves a terrible pit in my stomach. Maybe it's probably better that I don't remember.
Good morning, Baruthiel. Who's the good kitty?
Baruthiel.
Are you hungry? Is that why you woke me up?
That's her black cat. Yes, I remember. Isabella and Marianne spoke of that cat earlier in the game. A content purr comes from my sweet dear before she jumps off the bed and trots toward the kitchen. On the other hand, it takes me a bit more before I roll out the bed and start my day. Mornings before work is always a quiet affair. Shower first, then a mug of coffee and a bowl of oats. Sometimes I do stretches, and I always check my work email. The rights will be moving into the mansion today. I don't think the paperwork is officially done yet, but it's not too far-fetched to think that they were allowed to start to move despite that. Rich people like them will always find ways to get what they want after all.
I'll be leaving you again today, Beth. So you behave and make sure not to shred up my new covers, okay? And don't worry, I didn't forget tomorrow is Black Cat Day, so I'll throw you a party.
Is there a such thing? A Black Cat Day? Really?
But only if you behave like a proper lady.
She barely gives me a glance as I say that before going back to her own food. Cats. Still better than humans, most of the time. Too bad I have to work with humans. The place is already busy as soon as I get there. The foreman, one that I have recommended to the right for his work ethic, is early as usual. Already he's instructing men here and there with the bigger loads. I have no chance to talk to him as Miss Wright appears and greets me with a smile.
Mrs. Wright, I hope everything has been to your liking thus far.
Good morning, Marianne. It has been delightful and these men have been very helpful. Look at all this. It's so busy here. I'm getting tired just looking at them go.
No complications so far with the movers or the previous owners of the mansion, I hope?
If anything, the only one being problematic is Luke, if I'm to be honest. He can be such a diva, but I do like that about him.
She stops, looking up at the upper landing where Mr. Wright comes through with two other movers and the mirror from the study.
Oh, do be careful with that mirror. We wouldn't want anyone getting hurt because of broken glass. Why are you even having it carried around?
Oh? You did say you didn't want the mirror, and I keep getting distracted by it.
Yeah, she did say that.
If I'm going to turn the study into my office, I'd rather not have it there. Where can we put this?
Well, you are not putting it in our room. Why don't you go, I don't know, put it in the wine cellar for now? We can figure out if we'll store it in the attic or somewhere else later, yes?
You heard her, boys. To the cellar it goes. Mush!
Mush! Oh shit, that scared me. The mover bring down the mirror one step at a time, no matter how much the man tells them to worry. An unsettling thing grows in my stomach as I see our reflection in the bloody thing. And I look away, not wishing to risk anything. If I see Lorraine's image in the mirror now, I would not know what I'd do. I don't have the luxury of privacy right now, and I am not going to break down in front of all these people. As soon as they go into the kitchen, I realize I'm holding my breath. I let a sigh of relief when I think nobody is looking, and I go back to the task at hand. It could be a terribly busy day, and there's no need for me to even think of anything else. I talk with the foreman, feeling him in which room is which. It seems I'm doomed to not get any significant work done without being interrupted when it comes to these particular clients.
Marianne, dear, have you had breakfast yet? Well, I do believe it would be considered brunch at this hour.
Oh yes, Mrs. Wright,
You must join me. Johans has already been breaking in the kitchen, as they say. I do not see the others settling down for a meal anytime soon. Someone might as well enjoy the food while it's hot. And that someone might as well be us.
I should say no. I really must say no. But the way she smiles at me makes it difficult to do so. Now, look at how ridiculous I'm being. Acting like a silly nervous schoolgirl with a crush. It's just a brunch, and who am I to say no to a client? It would be impolite to do so. It's not like I'm going to agree because of anything other than propriety. I'm not agreeing just because she batted her pretty eyelashes at me. Was a weird word.
if you insist.
It really is not any of those. But it's something about her eyes rather. She looks like she needs a good talk. A friend. And although I'm not supposed to be chummy with my client, there's no harm in pretending, right? Of course, I've been wrong on many occasions before. Maybe there is plenty harm in pretending that I care. Because pretending I care might lead to actually caring. Being alone in the same room as the missus leaves me reeling, as I find myself paying too much attention to her. It seems so borderline unhealthy how much I'm getting obsessed, even if it's just by looking. And it's the little insignificant things that I notice, like the way she plays with her hair or how smooth she smoothed down her dress.
Hiya! Come on now!
Marianne's getting a little bit close to Anna. Whiskey's annoying voice in the other room helps pull me back to the ground. I'm just looking, aren't I? I know that someone like her would not even look at someone like me. Still, there's some time to turn around this bad decision.
I'd really like to think